This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen The Last Boy Scout, an action film from Tony Scott, released in 1991. It follows the private detective Joe Hallenbeck, who ends up caught in a tangled web of lies, death, and professional sports, when he is asked by a friend to take up an assignment for him, only for that friend to be killed minutes later. Following through, Hallenbeck ends up being too late to protect his client, a nightclub dancer who ends up murdered in a hit job. As he investigates who would have had her killed, her boyfriend Jimmy, a former professional football player, assigns himself as Hallenbeck's partner. Their investigation not only reopens old wounds for both of them, but leads them into a conspiracy that could very well upend the status quo of sports. In a sense, the film is a more dramatic take on the buddy cop formula and dynamic, with the kind of mismatched partnership that is a staple of such films. Hallenbeck and Jimmy are excellent foils for one another, with their clashing personalities and backgrounds. Further, they're not afraid to call out each other's faults, but still clearly hold some respect for each other, which in itself has a clear growth over the course of the film, from begrudging reluctance and tolerance to a greater friendship. Despite the fact that they kind of join forces because otherwise there would be no movie, the two have a natural camaraderie and chemistry that resists that feeling of contrivance, and they come through as two people who stick together because they need all the help they can get. When it comes to the film's action, it's probably easier to say that the film is pure action. Almost every scene is either an actual moment of action, suspense, and thrill, or is setting up for one of those three to happen within the next several minutes. Cinematography and editing help keep things tight during fast-paced scenes, engaging the audience by showing them the important details to keep in mind, while still capturing the greater picture. There are still a few points where the film takes a chance to catch its breath and share some exposition and character development, and while it can kill any adrenaline rush you might get, it does help to build up the ongoing stakes and set up for later conflicts and obstacles that Hallenbeck and Jimmy have to overcome or sidestep. The rest of The Last Boy Scout's story is far less complex, with plot lines that are generally cliché and expected for action films, and more or less written around the primary storylines of Hallenbeck and Jimmy's partnership and the greater conspiracy they unravel. Overall, The Last Boy Scout is an excellent entry in the greater pantheon of the action genre, and certainly one that exemplifies the excesses that action films often build towards when simply kicking, punching, and shooting the bad guy is no longer enough. While character arcs are a bit light on substance and depth, the relationships and chemistry are what drive that part of the film forward, and half of what keeps the film going as well. The other half, of course, is the high amount of action and suspense, with each scene keeping our heroes in enough danger that the audience actually fears for their safety, though obviously not so much that they are actually in danger. They'll be fine. Probably. The Last Boy Scout. Tony Scott, 1991. 4 stars. I say to give it a shot. That's it for now. If you like this review, leave it a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more reviews in the future. As for me, I'm gonna go see if there's any footballs lying around here. Might as well work on my throwing arm.